I'm a phone sex operator. And basically people just like pay per minute to like talk on the phone basically about whatever they want. And sometimes it's like old people who don't know how to use computers, so they just call they'll see like a racy commercial or something and like call the number.
Yeah,
And
I
just
was
go
about
through
to
a
say,
greeting.
when I watch like South Park or something like that, like there's always the commercial for the phone sex thing. Luna?
Hello?
Luna, it says here that you are a phone sex operator and you think it would be cool to see what I think about that profession. Well, who cares what I thought? How did you get into this profession?
Well, okay. So I've been a sex worker for like 2 years now, and I want to say like business wasn't really booming for me. So I watched some videos with some like veteran sex workers, and they're like, "Oh, you gotta get into phone sex. You gotta get into phone sex." And I was like, "Well, I do have this like kind of like soft, breathy voice, so it would be interesting." And so I went on. You go online basically, and you just kind of like sign up and verify your ID and blah blah blah. Fill out a W-2, and then people pay you to talk on the phone with them.
Interesting. So is this like what kind of sex work were you doing before? Was it like OnlyFans? Were you at the strip club? What was the nature of the gig?
Oh my gosh,
this?
I wish I could do. I wish I could work at a strip club. I was doing OnlyFans, and I was also selling like content outside of the platform as well.
So the phone sex thing, do you not do that through OnlyFans? Is that like a different service or something?
No, it's a completely different service. Actually, it's like it's more of a kind of like an archaic form of sex work, like an archaic form of online sex work, if you will. It's like it came before like OnlyFans and stuff. And basically people just like pay per minute to like talk on the phone basically about whatever they want. And sometimes it's like old people who don't know how to use computers, so they just call they'll see like a racy commercial or something and like call the number.
Yeah, I was about to say, when I watch like South Park or something like that, like there's always the commercial for the phone sex thing. But every time I see that, I'm like, I feel like anyone who like wants to do something like that, they have whatever, the OnlyFans chat rooms and all that stuff. I feel like who's calling the phone number they see on TV? But I guess that's the demographic, is older people who don't know how to use the computer.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at how many people that know how to work a phone that don't know how to work a computer will call the lines. I get people, and when our call is finished, I'm like, well, like, do you have an email? Can I like email you something racy or whatever? And they'll be like, I don't have an email. I'm like, how do you not have an email? What?
Do they give you their physical address to like mail them a letter or something like that?
Oh my God, no. Actually, sometimes customers are like, here, this is my number, and they'll like say it out loud, and they're like, text me. I'm like, I'm not gonna text you. I can't call you. Like people will try to give me their personal information over the phone, and I'm like, they're typically older too, and I'm like, why are you giving some random girl that you called on a number you saw on a television your home address or like your personal phone number? No. I wish
they seem to trust you.
Surprisingly.
So
does
anyone ask you for anything unconventional, or is it like, I feel like with phone sex, you have to be really creative. Like, you have to be way more creative with phone sex than with actual sex, because you got to be like
Oh,
a poet, dude. Like with real sex, you put, everything is very physical. It's there. It's show, don't tell. But phone sex, it's all in the description and the imagination. It requires far more creativity than actual sex.
Yes, and it has actually, as a sex worker, it has furthered my skill because now I can get the job done without even showing, any, and even my face. Yeah. When I'm on the phone, sometimes I have thesaurus open for like younger customers, because, well, I don't want to put this into like a stereotype, but this is just from my experience. Older customers, if you say anything that's like slang for, like, if you say like tits, that gets the job done. They're satisfied. But for younger customers, typically in their 30s, maybe 40s, you have to be really, really, really descriptive and like really raunchy with them, because they're just like so desensitized.
So when you say you can just say tits and it gets the job done for an older person, like what do you write? Do you just say like, I mean, what do you even say to these people? Like, how does it? I can't even think of like how you would start.
I mean, I want to keep everything as PG as possible because I would hate to like shadow ban you or anything. But I have this one customer. We can cuss, right?
You can say whatever you want.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I have this one customer, and he's obviously like in his like 70s, 80s, like probably bedridden. Like he just sounds old, I can tell. And basically our entire, well, okay, I guess I'll tell you how I typically start off. I'm like, hello, this is Luna. And they'll typically tell me like, hey, saw your photo, blah, 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 or, heard your greeting. And I'll just kind of nonchalantly say, well, like, what do you want to do tonight? What are you into? If it's a new customer, but if it's a regular, I kind of know what they already want and we already get into it. And then based on like their reactions to things and what they say to me, I can kind of fine tune it and like give them the experience that they fully want. But typically in the beginning, it's like, hey, how are you? How are you doing? I'm doing great. And then we just kind of get into it. Or if they have trouble, like some people are a little shy, I'll just kind of slowly ease them into it. And then they get, they get really into it in the end.
So tell me, I'm curious, are you, I guess not even just phone sex, but sex work in general. Do you enjoy the profession itself, or are you just sort of doing it as a way to make money and you have sort of something else that you intend to pursue in addition to that?
Well, for now, I guess, okay, well, originally I did start sex work for just because I needed funds, but then I actually really started to enjoy it, and once I got into phone sex, I learned that I actually really, really love phone sex. It's kind of, okay, don't take this the wrong way, but it's kind of like what you do. I sit on the phone.
No. There's a fair amount of similarities here. I will admit that, yes, for sure.
And it's kind of the same thing. I get to talk to all different kinds of people, and sometimes it's people who are actually just lonely and just want to talk or vent about their day.
Right. Do you have a lot of people who are just talking about like their day and it doesn't even get sexual?
Yeah, and honestly, it kind of feels weird because I'm so used to being like creative on the spot and saying like really, really gnarly words. And they just want to talk about like what they bought at the grocery store. And I'm like, I like have to forcibly tone myself down for those people.
So you're enjoying getting to, I saw, yeah, I guess, I mean, there is a lot of similarities between what we do. We get to talk to a lot of different people. It sounds about a lot of different miscellaneous things. You do phone sex, I do phone Gecks. Do you, okay, so now since starting phone sex for work, do you find in your personal sex life to be doing a lot more phone stuff?
Actually, no, I don't actually participate. It's not really, personally, phone sex isn't something that like turns me on. I prefer, physical, like in real life sex. I will say that it does make the dirty talk in the bedroom a lot more racy and creative just because of the vernacular that I picked up from being on the lines with people. So it's made me successful in the bedroom, and it has also made me successful in like sexting people or like on dates when I'm like flirting. Yeah, it makes me successful with flirting in real life, but I don't have like actual phone sex with people in my real life.
Well, the reason why I asked you the question of like, I know you said you started it for money, but is it like, is it just for money? Or are you enjoying it? Is that because, okay, it sounds like you're very good at it. And I feel like people, no matter what the thing is, get enjoyment from doing things that they are good at and competent at because it gives you confidence to know that you're good at something. I feel like there's a lot of pride and happiness to be gained there with that itself.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you have anything else that you aspire to do?
Oh yeah, I mean I do have bigger dreams. I'm a pretty decent artist. And I like to sew and stuff. So I've been thinking about maybe going to fashion school or going to art school as well. But financially wise, I think I already have like a decent job that I really, really like. So maybe on the side for like shits and giggles, I might sell my art eventually.
Do you have any advice to people out there who might be listening, because I've been in this situation before where like I've been whatever with someone, a dirty texting thing, and I don't know what the hell to say. There's only like really 5 things you can do, and I'm not very creative. What do you have for people like that? People who are listening, how can we be more creative in our phone and texting sex lives?
Well, let's see. Definitely go on Thesaurus. Wait, actually, no.
You use a thesaurus? You're on there on the phone sex line with a thesaurus in front of you?
Actually, I recently discovered this better website. I think it's called Word Hippo. That's a better thesaurus.
You're on Word Hippo while you're doing the phone sex? That's kind of brilliant.
Yes, because sometimes it's like, oh, I don't want to say that word over and over and over again. So you want to say something new and different.
Right. You can only say tits twice before the whole magic is gone. You can't. How many times can you say tits, or how many words are there for cock? And then you start getting into shoulders and elbows and stuff. You're getting twisted.
I know. But the biggest thing is adjectives. Sorry. I don't know why I put a G in there. Adjectives are probably the most important thing when it comes to phone sex and texting. You want to be very, very descriptive with your body parts and how you want them to move, of course. Like for me, I'm a curvaceous lady, so I use a lot of adjectives to describe the way my curvaceousness feels and maybe the way it might make my customer feel, maybe the way it moves. So definitely go on Word Hippo, look up some adjectives for what you feel your body type might be like, or what you feel, how you want something to move.
Interesting. Go to a thesaurus to find words for how your body might feel like. That's actually pretty good actionable advice on that.
Yes. And also, instead of saying, when I sext people, or when people try to sext me in real life, they tend to say like, oh, I want to do this, or I want to do that. You should say, I'm gonna do this, or you should say, yeah, you should put more
confident speech. You know what? I would even say you could apply that outside of sex talk. It's just a general motivational thing. I'm gonna wake up at 6 a.m. and go climb that mountain. I'm gonna,
oh my God,
come on your boobs. Whatever the thing is.
Yes. I cannot imagine what it would be like waking up at 6 a.m. and climbing a mountain. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Luna, do you have any final thoughts before we go?
I do not. It actually, okay, my final thought is I'm glad I was able to talk to you about my profession, because I don't actually tell anyone that I'm a phone sex operator, besides like my the people who are close to me. So I'm glad I was able to fully talk to someone on the phone about it.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for sharing with us, Luna. And
oh yeah,
Geck, bless you. Have a good rest of the night.
Oh wow, you too.
Wonder if she's gonna send us an invoice for that.